Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, coming to you from the beautiful trial gardens here at the J.C. Ralston Arboretum in Raleigh, North Carolina. I wanted to take some time to show you around as the trials have now been planted for several months, and maybe you all can pick some of your favorite new plants for your gardens to grow next season. I know I have a favorite, this fabulous stand of beautiful sunflowers behind me, but I can't wait to show you some of the less traditional plants, including some multi-branched sunflowers that flower all summer long. So let's go on a tour. So here we have a bunch of perennial trials. So we have a Veronica that's just about finished, but really great. And there's still quite a few bees on it. Some mums. These are Autumn Spice Igloo from Must Have Perennials. Here's a plant that doesn't look so hot. This is a sedum double martini. Not looking as good as you'd like, but that is precisely why trials exist. One of my favorite plants, this is Salvia Unplugged So Blue. This is a perennial. It's actually become a perennial, at least in my garden. It's such a reliable bloomer. And here's the white version of it. This is Salvia farinaceae is the species. I've been on a penstemon kick. And here is one called Dakota Burgundy from Terra Nova. And that really looks quite nice. Really clean foliage, holding that dark burgundy color. Here in full sun, it feels like it's about 300 degrees today. And you can see this is doing really, really well. Next to that, Dakota Verde. So Verde meaning green. So you can really see the difference in the foliage. This is much greener compared to this darker leaf form. Well, I have to say I'm kind of relieved to see that their petunias and calibrachoas don't look that great, because mine don't look good at all. They never do. One plant that I am completely obsessed with, and I'm actually growing it for the first time, is this Sweet Caroline Medusa Green. This is from Proven Winners. This is an ornamental sweet potato vine, and I just think it has the coolest foliage. And you see, it's really well behaved. It's not growing nearly as vigorously as some of the original sweet potatoes. Now to show you some sad looking petunias. You know, petunias just aren't a plant that do well in the southeast. This is what they look like in the heat of the summer. And you can see there are some varieties that are better than others. Here we have one Color Rush Merlot Star from Ball. That's hanging in there. Most of these other ones are not. Easy Wave Blue is alive. Surfina Sumo Bold Lilac. That one's really healthy looking. That definitely passes the test so far. Supertunia Sharon from Proven Winners. This looks good. You know, I would say this Sumo Glacial isn't as good. You can see it dying kind of there in the middle. And Sumo Pink. It's alive, but definitely I still think the best petunia for this area is Bubblegum from Proven Winners. That came out a number of years ago. So here we have some more Shockwave. Like you see, that middle plant is pretty dead. And Easy Wave White. Of the three plants, only one's alive. I don't think any of these in this bed are necessarily worthy. Here is the Supertunia Vista Bubblegum. So this is the one. This is sort of, I think, the standard. And you can see even it's suffering a bit, but not compared to the one next to it. It's Easy Wave Coral. Jazzleberry. You know, as a Michigan native, petunias were awesome, but here in North Carolina, they're just not. Now, one thing that I really am obsessed with is Cyparis. This is Graceful Grass's Prince Tut. So I grow what Proven Winners calls King Tut, which is the straight species, and it's very tall. This is the perfect size for a smaller pot. And yeah, you can grow these in the ground, but I really like growing them in ponds. And they have actually been perennial for me on the south side of my house. So I haven't grown this one, this dwarf variety, but I'd like to get it because I think they're really pretty plants. And then this South Pacific Orange, I actually do have this growing at my house, and I love All American selections. The problem that we have with cannas here are the leaf rollers. You see, they do that to the leaves, and you really have to spray some harsh pesticides on them, which influence all the other pollinators. So I just am not a huge canna fan, specifically because of the leaf roller issue. Love seeing these Gaillardia. They are so beautiful. Like, if you have the option between Gaillardia or petunias, definitely choose Gaillardia. They're gonna flower for you basically year round. They're reliably perennial. This yellow one is really nice. This is Heated Up Yellow from Proven Winners. Next to it up is Heated Up Scarlet, also from Proven Winners. That one's significantly shorter. I really like this Heated Up Yellow. And I've been trialing some daisies. None of mine look this good. I obviously have done something wrong, but these are quite nice from All American selections there. And you know, I can't say enough about penstemon. I am like over the moon about it. So here we have Twizzle Purple. This is another one from the All American Selections program. Look at that, blooming now in the middle of summer. A lot of the penstemons, especially our native ones, only bloom in spring. So it's nice to see an extension of the flowering season. Now, I really am into Gomphrena, and usually they were like really tall and kind of out of scale. So it's great to see Proven Winners has this one, Truffula Pink, I don't know. But look at how short and organized it is. It looks like it should. And same goes with this Verbena Meteor Shower, also from Proven Winners. Tell you what, Proven Winners is doing a really good job with their annuals line. They always have. These are two plants that I need. And look at all of the skippers and different moths and butterflies. They're just covered in pollinators. And into verbenas here. These are more the ground cover verbenas. That one, of course, is Verbena bonariensis. And this is the kind of Superbena Imperial Blue has always kind of been a standard. That looks so good. Everybody's been talking about this Cake Pops Purple, but that's Verbena rigida. I mean, they're okay. They're just, here in this trial, they don't look that good. I've been seeing them in pots, and they look amazing. So, you know, maybe better container plant. Whiteout, another good one from Proven Winners. And of course into the lantanas, which I love lantanas. And a lot of times they are kind of too big, especially for smaller gardens. So it's great to see all of these varieties that are so much smaller than they used to be. I mean, really 20 years ago, lantanas were beasts. And not only have they been making them shorter, but they have been increasing their cold hardiness. So for us here in Zone 7, a lot of these are actually becoming reliably perennial. Now, if you watch my videos with regularity, you will remember that a few months ago, I saw these Terenia planted in full sun, and I laughed, and I was like, when I come back to visit, they're all gonna be dead. And look who was wrong, me. I can't believe Terenia are growing in this exposure and look this good. Now they are a little bit chlorotic looking, I think, and that's because they're sun bleached, but they are blooming and they are not dead. You know, when I first was introduced to Terenia, these were like one of the only things that would bloom in deep shade. And here we have Kauai white. I don't know, that one doesn't have a name. Little Kiss white. And next to that, again, another plant that you don't usually think of living here through the Carolina heat in the summer, Gypsophila muralis. This is an All-American Selection winner. And look at how beautiful, little baby's breath. I've never had success growing this in the summer. Now I'm gonna try. Love these new dianthus. That Jolt Purple is one that I'm growing this year for the first time. And it looks great. It looks better here because it's in more sun. I need to move mine. And this is a really nice heliotrope. If you're familiar with heliotrope, this is Augusta lavender from Proven Winners. They're really fragrant, so they're nice to have. So lobelia is kind of done blooming. I'm not familiar with those. I love evolvulus. It's my favorite blue flowering ground cover. Blue My Mind is my favorite. That's planted right here from Proven Winners. And I'm amazed to see alyssum still up and blooming at this stage of the summer. You see some have died, but it's pretty remarkable that they are still alive. Of course, Coconut Appeal, Thunbergia alata. This is one of my favorite annual vines. It does self-sow, so be prepared. If you plant it, you're probably gonna have it for a while. But it does its job, it climbs up really well, it's very efficient. Now, I think these are the plants I'm most excited about in this trial. This is Suncredible Saturn from Proven Winners. Absolutely spectacular flower. You know, most sunflowers are like those. They get tall, they have one big flower, and they're done. I think this new generation of sunflowers are real game changers. And it's so hot that my phone shut down. And I'm not sure when it shut down in the middle of my tour. David's the only smart one hanging out in the shade, because it really does feel like it's about 300 degrees today. But in the shade, it's nice, there's a breeze. And I'm trying to let my phone cool down. All right, since it's so hot and my phone is melting, I'm gonna give you a distance shot, but you can see, I zoom in, not all of the new sunflowers look as good as those two from Proven Winners. So those are the Suncredible, Yellow and Saturn. Of course, in that bed, got some really beautiful salvias here. Perovskia performing as it usually does, meaning not that well. Now this bed is the bed I really want to go through because they have all their vegetables in it and some of the basil that I have also been growing. Altogether, everything in these trials just looks so good. I'm gonna stick to the shade to prevent my phone from having a nervous breakdown. But I love that they do hot trials, and you can see hanging baskets up there. So they're really trialing plants in a lot of different circumstances here. And of course, some of my favorites are zinnias and coleus, and that's what we have here in this bed. And this is the Queenie Lime series in here. That's a non-named one. Here's Queenie Lime right here. I'm actually gonna get treated with some irrigation water and it'll feel good. Oh yeah, my phone got wet. It didn't stop running. And of course the Coleus. And here we have Color Blaze Albrighto, Torchlight, Main Street, Beale Street. That's one of my favorites, that burgundy. And then Color Blaze Newly Noir, and that's quite pretty. I just think Coleus are a really important part of the summer landscape. And these are just exquisite varieties, all from Proven Winners. And to round this bed out, we have some echinaceas and some really nice ageratums. But isn't it funny how this one here, this artist pearl, is so much bigger than the plants in the rest of the row? Almost like it's not the same thing. Look at that in this angle. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this quick tour of the trial garden here at the J.C. Ralston Arboretum in Raleigh, North Carolina. I look forward to coming back a little later in the season to see how all of these have done by the time fall comes around. But overwhelmingly, I would say all of these genetics deserve a spot in your garden. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.